Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kassandra. Today's class is all about the element of fire. Now, the element of fire is associated with passion, with destruction, transformation, and energy. It's also associated with our self-confidence and our self-esteem and the power of our digestion. When the element of fire within us is not in balance, it can be underactive, which means we are going to be low energy, really lethargic, and we won't really have the drive, the fire, or the fuel to go after the things that we want in life. When our fire is too powerful and also not in balance, we can be really quick to judge, quick to anger, have a hard time controlling our emotions, and also experience burnout quite severely. So this practice is all about restoring balance to this element of fire within us. And we're going to, of course, do a lot of asana, but we're also going to be working with pranayama, so breathing exercises, and mudras. So the breathing exercise that we're going to be doing today is the breath of fire, because it works very well with this element of fire. And we're going to be working with the Kali Mudra, which is just interlacing the fingers, releasing the thumb and the index, and then crossing the left thumb over the right one. So Kali is the goddess of destruction, of transformation, and she is very well associated with this element of fire. Now, you are going to be needing one block for this practice, and we're going to use it right away to start with breath of fire. So I find this to be easiest to do when I'm kneeling as opposed to sitting cross-legged, and you might just want to sit up on a block so that your hips are a little bit more elevated. We're going to combine this pranayama exercise with the mudra, so with that Kali Mudra. So again, you're just interlacing your fingers, releasing the thumb and the index, and then crossing the left thumb over the right one. And for this one, we're gonna reach our arms all the way up overhead, so there's a really great engagement. Now, this is going to be a fierce class because the element of fire is fierce. You can expect a lot of core work, a lot of twists, a lot of poses that really ask for you to engage this area, because this is the area that processes digestion, and it's also where your third chakra would be, which is the seat of your confidence and self-esteem. So starting with this pranayama exercise, breath of fire, if you've never done it before, you start by taking half an inhale in, and then it's forceful exhales through the nose while pumping the stomach back. So I'll just do a really short demonstration for you. So you're squeezing and then breathing in. Just like that. So we're gonna do that for a round of 40. We're gonna take a pause, and then we're gonna run it for a second time. So if you're not already there, please interlace your fingers and reach them up overhead. Get really strong, like a vessel here. You're extending the connection, and this is almost like the flicker and the point of the flame that you're forming with your body. And you can close the eyes. And before we start this breathing exercise, just ask yourself, what is it that needs to transform in your life? What do you need to infuse a little bit more fire into? Or what maybe is a little bit too fiery within you? And we'll begin breath of fire. So take a little inhale in, and then exhale forcefully through the nose and start to pump the stomach back. Count up to 40 in your head. Go. Breath in, and exhale, release the arms. Give yourself a moment here. Just observe what that has stirred up for you in the low belly. And we'll go again for round 2. Re-extend the arms, Kali Mudra. Stretching up nice and long. Whenever you're ready, another count of 40. Breath in and release. Let's go and lay down on our backs. Keep your block somewhere close within grabbing distance. We are going to need it. Now, I did mention that a lot of this class will be focusing on the abdominals, and we're going to start off with that right away. Taking one of my favorite abdominal strengtheners. This was from the forest yoga tradition. It's like a very slow bicycle. You need to bend your knees, align your knees directly over the top of your hips. Squeeze your inner thighs together and press your lower back down into the floor. So if pressing your lower back down made your knees shift forward, realign them directly over the top of your hips. You're gonna interlace your fingers and bring them to the back of the head. As you inhale, curl up towards the ceiling, not towards your thighs. And on the exhale, you're gonna twist over to the right and extend your left leg straight. Keep your lower back pressing into the floor. Inhale, come all the way back to center, curl tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the left, extend your right leg straight. Both shoulder blades off the mat. Inhale, come back to center, curl tailbone up, pull the belly in. Exhale, twist to the right, reach your left leg. Inhale to center, curl and lift up. Exhale, twist to the left, extend your right leg. Come back to center, pull the belly in, lift up. Exhale, twist to the right, extend through your left leg. Hover just a little bit off the floor. Inhale, come back, curl tailbone up, squeeze the thighs. Exhale, twist to the left, reach through your right heel. Inhale, come back. This is our last cycle, curl tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the right, reach your left leg straight, extend. Come back to center, lift up a little higher, your last one. Exhale, twist to the left, reach through your right heel, peel the shoulder blades off the mat. Come all the way back to center, curl up and release. Let your feet come down to the floor, rest your palms on your belly. Take a few deep breaths here. And grab a hold of your block, place it in between the upper thighs. We're setting ourselves up for bridge pose. So you'll want to have your heels pretty close into the hips, and we're going to bend the elbows so the fingertips face up to the ceiling. Squeeze your block as much as is physically possible, and as you press your heels down into the floor, you're going to start to curl the tailbone up, lift the hips, the mid-back off the ground. And you might be able to shrug your shoulders underneath you a little bit. You can press into the tops of the arms to lift the pelvis up even higher, but we really want to make sure that we are squeezing our block and engaging through the adductors. So feel the inner thighs really turn on and engage here. This will prevent your knees from opening up too wide. As you inhale, squeeze and lift up a little higher. And on the exhale, you're just gonna let your hips lower down to hover a few inches off the ground. Inhale, press and re-extend. And then exhale, drop it down to hover. Keep squeezing. Take a few more, go at your own pace. Inhale up, exhaling to hover down. Keep going. Without clenching the jaw or tightening up the shoulders, really make this about strengthening the glutes, strengthening the low body. Squeezing into that block. Don't let it slip out. Taking two more. And we'll lower our way down, hips to the floor. You can set your block off to the side, and let's rock up tabletop pose. Onto the hands and knees. Palms should be underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Spread your fingers nice and wide, and let's just take cat and cow before we do anything else. So just warming up the spine here. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, curl tailbone up. And then exhale, chin to chest, tailbone down, round the spine. Take a few more, go at your own pace here. So again, as we start to build up some heat, what is it that you need to burn away? And what is it that you need to infuse a little bit more passion into, a little bit more fire into? Last cycle here. Inhale. Come back to your neutral tabletop pose. Really important here that your elbows stay straight. As you inhale, you're gonna kick your right heel up to the sky, squeeze into that glute, and then trace big circles with your right knee. So tap the right knee to the arm, down to the floor, and then lifting it all the way back up. Take a few more circles, just like this. Notice if your left elbow has started to bend or if you're twisting a little bit through the upper body. As much as possible, just keep the arms straight, shoulders squared. You're really just isolating that right hip. The next time the right knee lifts up, you're gonna step your right foot to the top of the mat on the outer edge of your right hand. So the knee is directly over the top of your ankle. Come up onto the fingertips, curl the back toes under, and lift your back knee off the mat. Think of lifting and reaching out of the low back. This might be enough for you, in which case you're welcome to just hold it here. Otherwise, right arm extends forward, left arm goes back. Really strong pose. One long diagonal line from the right fingertips all the way down to your left foot. Stretch the arms further away from each other. And then let's bring our left hand down, right arm circles open, easy twist. Keep your left shoulder in. Hugging the legs to the midline. Right hand comes down to the floor. Let your left knee come back to the mat and step your right toes all the way to the back of the mat. Modified side plank, drop your right heel down and extend your right arm up. So you can stay right here if you'd like. Otherwise, to go a little further, you're going to float your right leg up on the inhale, and then exhale, the foot taps back down. A few more times like this. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, squeeze and lift. Exhale to lower. Two more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down into your plank pose. Inhale. Lower all the way to your belly. Point the toes back, take a little cobra. And child's pose. Big toes together, knees apart, hips to the heels. Slow down your breath. Lifting up hands and knees. Let's go do that little sequence over on the other side. So the palms are under the shoulders, the knees are underneath the hips. Keep the elbows straight as you extend your left heel up to the sky with that knee bent, and keep the knee bent as you circle it all the way out to the left, over to your left arm, down to the floor, and circling back up. So take a few hip rotations like this without bending your right elbow. Keep a lot of weight in your left hand so it's not all to the right side of your body. And really squeeze into the glutes. The next time that left knee comes up, you're gonna step your left foot forward to the top of the mat, to the outer edge of your left palm, and you're gonna curl the back toes under, lift the right knee off the mat, and come up high onto your fingertips. So you're welcome to just hold here in your diagonal line, or you can take it further by reaching the left arm forward and the right arm back. Slow, steady breaths in and out through the nose. Draw the navel in. Press into your back heel. Into your easy twist, right hand down, circle the left arm open. Look wherever is comfortable for your neck. Keep that right shoulder drawing back. And then left hand down, right knee to the floor. Step the left toes all the way to the back of the mat. Drop your left heel down to the floor and extend your left arm up. So this is your modified side plank. You can hold here or you take it further by floating the left leg up, inhale, and then exhale, tap it down. A few more times, inhale up, exhale to lower. Inhale, lift, exhale down, squeeze, lift it up, exhale to lower plank pose, inhale, exhale chaturanga, lower down, inhale cobra, and let's take our first downward facing dog, curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back. Create some space in your down dog, spreading the fingertips wide. And we're gonna reach our right leg up to the sky. Keep it straight and squared. As you exhale, shift to your plank pose. Tap your knee to your nose, shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, re-extend all the way up and back. Exhale, squeeze it in, hips are low. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, squeeze it in, look past your hands and step your foot forward. Lower your back knee down. Take your Kali Mudra as you lift up into your low lunge. So interlace the fingers, hook the left thumb over the right, squeeze the biceps along the ears. Notice if you're puffing the chest forward here, try to breathe into the back of the body. Really important that our back toes are curled under here. Find something to focus on that's not moving, and then we're gonna lift the back knee off the floor so you're up in your high lunge. Right knee is bending generously. Find something to focus on that's not moving. We are stepping into chair pose, keeping the arms exactly as they are. Big toes together, heels apart, bend the knees, rock the weight back into the heels. Draw the lower belly in. Sink down a little bit lower. Hands to prayer at the front of the heart. Keep the chin and chest lifted. As you exhale, send it to a twist. Left elbow crosses over your right thigh. Take a peek at your knees. Notice if your left knee is further than the right one, shifted back. Press your palms together. Draw the right shoulder down and away from the ear. Look down at the floor to help with balance. Shift your weight onto your right foot and see if you can pick up the left foot off the mat and carefully step it back for your high lunge, finding your twist once more. So right thigh is almost parallel to the ground. Belly is lifted off of that front right leg. Look to the floor, both hands down. Let's take our flow. Inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga, hover halfway. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Pressing back through the heels, lifting the tailbone up, draw the navel in. So really firing up our practice. Let's move to the other side. Left leg rises, inhale. Exhale to plank, tap your knee to your nose, squeeze the thigh in. Inhale, lift it up and back. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, squeeze it in, look past your hands and step it through. Let your right knee come down. Low lunge, arms reach up, interlace the fingers. Slow down the breath, in and out through the nose. So remember, the back toes have to stay curled under here for this one. And then we'll find our high lunge. Right knee comes off the ground. Keep the floating ribs in, so we're not puffing the heart forward. And step up as lightly as you can to your chair pose. Big toes together, heels apart. Bend the knees a little bit more. Chest stays lifted, arms are reaching up. Hands to prayer at the front of the heart. We move into our twist. This time it's your right elbow crossing over your left thigh. Notice if your right knee has shifted past the left one, bring it back. Try to keep your heart a little bit higher than your hips. And as you look down, shift most of your weight into your left foot and see if you can pick up the right toes off the mat, carefully stepping it back so you can find your high lunge with a twist again. Without collapsing the chest on the upper thigh, keep it lifted. Look down to the mat, both hands to the ground, take your flow. Inhale to plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And let's take a cleansing breath here. So you're gonna take an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth. shaking out the head. Reach your right leg up to the sky, straight and squared, and then step it forward to the top of the mat, in between the palms. Let's come up for our high lunge. Arms reach up overhead. So we're gonna move in and out of two poses here, really building up some heat. As you inhale, you're gonna stretch long through the arms, and on the exhale, you're gonna step to the top of the mat, make some fists alongside the hips, and lift your left knee up. So inhale, step it back. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale back. Exhale in. You can keep going at that pace, or you can speed it up. Inhale, exhale. For 3, 2, and 1. Step up, find your balance. Let's bring our hands at our heart. Warrior 3, left leg back. Into your chair pose, big toes together, heels apart. Keep the hands at the heart. We're gonna lower all the way down until the hips come down to the floor, boat pose. So the knees can definitely be bent here. You can even hold on to the backs of the thighs if you want. You can reach your arms forward. Into your low boat, lower back to the ground, eyes at the same height as the toes. Inhale, and let it go. Exhale. Awesome. Let's bend the knees here. You're going to pull your right knee into your belly and open it up a little bit wider. Take your half happy baby stretch. So you can hold onto your big right toe or the sole of your right foot and just draw that knee down. Slow down your breath. Slow down your heart rate. Just notice the effects of that flow. So with that left knee still bent, you're gonna guide your right ankle to the top of your left knee. Keep that foot flexed and keep your knee pressing away from you into your reclined pigeon pose. You can reach through with your arms and pull the left knee in. And let's release, squeeze your knees to your belly. And we're gonna make our way back, downward facing dog. So you can roll and rock up, plant the palms, step the feet back. You're welcome to hang out in this down dog for a few breaths. Otherwise we take our flow, inhaling to plank, exhale to chaturanga, inhale to up dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do that flow on the other side. Left leg rises, inhale. Step it forward between the palms, come up to your high lunge. So really strong here. If you had a hard time balancing when we went in and out of those two poses, you might need to widen your stance a little bit. So on the inhale, we find a lunge, and on the exhale, we're gonna bring our hands by the sides of the hips, squeezing the right knee into our belly. So inhale to your lunge, and exhale, pull the right knee in. Inhale, step it back. Exhale, squeeze it in. You can keep going slow and steady, or you can speed it up. For 3, 2, 1, hold it there. Hands at the heart. Warrior 3, right leg reaches back. Keep that right hip rotating down so the knee and the toes point down. Squeeze the glutes to keep that back heel lifted. Chair pose, big toes together, heels apart. Rock the weight back into the heels and just keep sinking down until your hips touch the floor. Boat pose. Squeezing through the inner thighs, lifting up through the chest. Low boat. And relax. Bend the knees. Bring your left knee in towards you. Open it up a little wider. Hold on to whatever you can. Half happy baby on the left side. So you're pressing that knee open and drawing the thigh down. You're going to guide your left ankle to the top of your right thigh. Press that knee away from you, and you can hold here, or you're going to squeeze the right knee to the belly. Let go of that stretch. This will be our last vinyasa. Rock up, find your downward facing dog. And you can either hang out in this down dog or you take your flow, inhaling to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And from this down dog, let's come down onto our knees. And you're gonna grab a hold of your block. And you're gonna place that block all the way up to the inner thighs. So we're gonna move into a variation of a forearm plank that I learned from one of my teachers, Yana Sherman. So from your tabletop pose, you wanna be able to squeeze your block and then lower down onto your forearms. So you want a little bit less than shoulder width distance apart between your elbows. So if you grab a hold of your biceps, you should be able to wrap your fingers around them. And then plant the palms, and then walk the feet back, come into your forearm plank. Now from here, we'll do the left side first. It'll be easier for you guys to see me this way. You're gonna rotate onto your left foot, stacking one leg over the other, and then start to lift your right elbow off the mat and make a little diamond shape with your index and thumbs. So your right elbow is stacking directly over the top of your left one. Your feet are not going to be touching, but you're squeezing your block and pressing into that left foot to lift the hips up a little bit higher. Keep squeezing and lifting. And we go to the other side. Carefully set the right forearm down, lift the heels up, and then transition. So roll to the outer edge of your right foot, find that little diamond shape that you're creating with the two thumbs and the two index fingers. The left elbow is now pointing straight up to the sky. You're reaching through your heels as you flex through your feet, pressing down through your right forearm. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze through the block. You got this. We are almost at the end of our class. Forearm plank. And walk the heels in. Take dolphin. Shake out the head. Soften the neck. Reach your chest to your thighs. Keep squeezing that block. And the knees come back down. Set your block off to the side. Take a really easy child's pose. So keep your knees pretty close towards one another and reach your arms back. Starting to cool down. Slowing down the breath and slowing down the heart rate. So grab a hold of your heels here with your hands and just start to rock onto the crown of your head a little bit, lifting the hips off of the heels. There's really not that much pressure on the top of my head. It's just to kind of stretch out the spine and lengthen out through the back body. And release into your tabletop pose. Let's take pigeon just to release. Right knee goes to your right wrist. Left leg stretches back behind you. If you're up pretty high here, you can always put a block underneath your glute. Otherwise, I'm gonna take a twist here just because that was the focus of our class today. You're welcome to just fold right down. If you wanna take your twist, you're gonna thread your left arm underneath you, so the shoulder and the ear come down to the floor, and then your right hand can wrap around the low back, maybe even reaching for your right foot. So we do want to minimize the effort as we are slowing down our practice. So make sure this is nurturing for you and not too straining. We've already worked plenty hard. If you were in your twist, the right hand comes back to the floor. Prop yourself back up onto your palms and just reach it back, tabletop pose. Any little movements here that feel good. And we'll do the same thing on the other side, so the left knee to the left wrist. Feel free to put a block underneath you, straightening the right leg back behind you. So you're not leaning on one side more than the other, and you can either just fold straight forward or you can take your twist. This time it's your right arm underneath you and the left hand to the low back. And start to ease your way out from the side. Tabletop stance, hands and knees. And just like before, do any little movements here that feel good. And we're gonna lay down on our backs, pulling the knees into the chest, giving them a big squeeze. And you can rock a little bit side to side. And let your feet come down to the ground, same distance as your mat, and let the knees drop side to side in a really slow windshield wiper motion. Just let go of any kinks in the low back or in the hips. And whenever you're ready, we'll move into Shavasana, our final resting pose. Take up some space at the arms and the legs, turning the palms to face up. Relaxing the shoulders. And as you internally quiet down, one last time, get really clear. What is it that needs to transform within you? Or what is it in your life that you want to infuse a little bit more fire into? Start to breathe a little bit deeper. Wiggling fingers and toes, turning the head side to side. We can reach the arms up overhead, take a deep stretch. We'll roll over, coming up to take a seat in any way that's comfortable. Eyes can stay closed as you do this. And bring the hands to the front of the heart, Anjali Mudra. And drawing the chin to the chest. And let's close this practice with the sound of one Om together. Inhaling to chant, breathe in. Namaste. Thank you so very much for doing this powerful, fiery practice with me. I do hope that you enjoyed it. Please do subscribe to my channel. I put out a new class every single Thursday. Thanks again, guys. Namaste.